Gary was ready to call it a night at Fletcher's signal station, having finished his sweeping of the service bay, putting the product displays inside, waiting for the Bishop O'Dowd High School graduate and station closer Ted to balance the cash drawer and place the receipts in the station's hiding place, so owner Ed Fletcher could open in the morning. Ted was just about finished when a red and white '57 Chevrolet pulled up to the pumps. Oh well, thought Gary, one last customer, having yet to turn off the pumps or the outside lights. Walking out to the pumps, Gary thought he recognized the driver. It was Gary MacArthur, a friend of Ted's who had graduated from Castlemont in January. MacArthur having been a member of the Bishops, a high school service club composed of quasi-car enthusiasts. The school putting the club on probation and finally disbanding it the following semester. It was rumored it had something to do with after-school hubcaps disappearance activity. Gary, looking closer at this 1957 shining example of craftsmanship, its polished body gleaming in the soft glow of the station's lights, standing poised like a thoroughbred. It was identical to the '57 Chevrolet posted on all the billboards across the nation, and TV as the one entering and winning the competitive hill climb Pikes Peak race. The annual 12-mile, 156 turns, prestigious run up the Colorado Peak. Gary couldn't believe what he heard next from MacArthur. This is the car that was in the race. His narrative continued. The company he worked for, Bruce's Tire, had purchased the car from Chevrolet for display and advertisement purposes, also saying with a tone of indulgence he would be taking it to the competition at Vacaville. Gary was aware of the drag strip at Vacaville, and the planned new raceway soon to be constructed, Ted joining the two, the hood being raised. It was the first time Gary had viewed a Chevy 283 fuel-injected engine. It was Chevrolet's first year for fuel injections. MacArthur continuing that he would enter it in the stock classification, but in reality it wasn't strictly a stock model, Chevrolet having changed the rear-end gear ratio, manufacturing enough models to justify a stock designation. Gary walked around looking inside expecting a plush interior, stepping back, discovering the interior was stripped of all normal seats and fitted with a framework of welded steel, forming a roll cage that encompassed the interior. A single seat occupying the space behind the steering wheel, a stock dashboard remained, but with specially mounted cluster gauges. The young teen was taken aback. This definitely wasn't a car for cruising. "Get in," were the words spoken by MacArthur, and without hesitation the teenager opened the door and then stopped. Nowhere to sit, no seats, and nothing to grasp or hold onto in the front. MacArthur motioned towards the back, saying, "Hunch down, and hold on to the roll bar." The youth grasping the metal bar traversing behind the driver's seat. Gary squatting on the back portion of the floorboard, able to raise up enough to see over the dash, having a good view of the road. The car progressing onto Mountain Boulevard, the youth reflecting on his surroundings, the adrenaline flowing as it absorbed the aura from this icon of a car. For an instant he wished this moment could be captured for visual prosperity, to be preserved for the agnostic to see. The car idled down Mountain Boulevard to Holmes Avenue, making a U-turn to a stop. The distance between Holmes and Shone Avenue on Mountain Boulevard was known as a teenager-designated quarter mile. Gary was savoring the moment. The tires screamed and the Chevy exploded forward. He grasped the roll bar as the G-force was ever increasing. MacArthur shifted into second gear. The tires squealed again, the force grasping him in its clutches, pulling him backwards. He glanced at the speedometer as they blew through the intersection of Shone. It was registering over 90, the car continuing but with compression backing down. It felt like a 100-pound weight had been released from pulling him backwards. MacArthur making a U-turn heading back to the station. Getting out, Gary was speechless. The ride may have ended. But one thing for sure, the memory would remain.